Semi-regular viewers of my channel will probably have noticed that I intend to try and cover as many Commodore 64 and Amiga games as I possibly can. But I have come to the conclusion, much to my dislike, that keeping them in separate videos is going to be messy unless I want to make 4, 5, 6 minute long videos. And my personal cutoff point is about 8 minutes, and anything that cannot be justified taking up an 8 minutes video as a bare minimum will be put together with something else. So, for the purpose of this video, you will get a doubler. Hello, and welcome to a look at Soldier 1 for the Commodore 64. A game that was released by American Action, and despite its name, I'm fairly sure there was a Swedish publisher. Regardless, the plot of Soldier 1 is that the big bad is being big and bad, and they need someone who is more big and more bad than the big bad in order to do big bad things to the big bad. Yeah, can't take this plot seriously. Sorry. Anyway, you start by being in charge of a ship's cannons, and you have to sink some patrol boats coming up alongside your ship, trying to do some damage to you, and then afterwards you need to try and cross the sea to reach the big bad's island. And of course you have some ships that will guard the stretch between your ship and the island, so you have to sink those ships. Then you will come closer to the island, which is protected by some guns that you have to level as well, and then you'll eventually land, and then you will run in first person, not Operation Wolf kind of shooter thing, and try and progress through the remaining 3 levels. Technical stuff. Graphics wise, this game is decidedly average. It's nothing bad, but it's not particularly epic looking either. I suppose for the game's hype, it's perfectly serviceable. On the sound side, the sound effects are perfectly serviceable yet again. Not exactly painful to listen to, but not necessarily worth celebrating a Christmas over either. So, yeah. The music, of which there's very little, is decent enough, but again, nothing overly exciting, but it's not bad at all. The controls are perfectly fine, I don't need to go into details concerning those, but of course we have the gameplay. If you look at the screen, you can see an ammo count, which is completely irrelevant because you can't spend all your ammo before you're dead. Underneath that you have a power bar, which is basically your health bar for the entire game loop. Then you have a timer and screen timer, and it's just recording the time because it's part of the high score thing. So it's not necessarily you being timed in any way, shape or form, it's just how long did you spend on the different screens. The fact that instead of having multiple lives, you have one life effectively where you have to complete the entire game means that, of course, the sooner or the faster you get rid of enemies and avoid taking damage in the process, the better off you are when you get to the later stages of the game. And it is something that you basically have to learn the different levels and try to fight your way through the 7 levels in total. This Operation Wolf kind of thing, which is not Operation Wolf, and it is marked badly by not having any indication of whereabouts you are actually aiming. Someone will probably notice that this game is very similar to Beachhead from Access Software. There's definitely some differences between the two, but there's definitely also a lot of ideas borrowed from that game. and they are not executed necessarily in any worse way than Beachhead, but it just lacks the excitement that Beachhead had. Another thing worth mentioning is that I'm possibly not the worst gamer in the world. I'm definitely not a superpower gamer kind of thing. I like taking my time and spending some time playing these games and playing games in general and just get a feel for them and all that kind of stuff. But this was my third game. What you basically seen in this video has been the 3 games I played in order to get footage for this video, and I got to the second last screen. In total, I spent 11 minutes on this game and almost managed to beat it. That is not exactly what I would qualify as being a good value for money. And the thing is, once you have beaten this game, you have no reason to play it again. Unless, of course, you want to set an epic time or for whatever bizarre reason. It's not bad for what it is, but it's just so short-lived that it will make a dayfly feel like an old pensioner in comparison. Suppose it's nice enough for a quick rush, but not memorable in any way, shape, or form. So let's switch to Anarchy from Hewson. Anarchy, a game that was released by Hewson through their Racket label. The plot is that the world of Sigma 4, I'm fairly sure it was Sigma 4, yeah, has been taken over by rebels, and we can't have that. We need to stop the rebels. And of course, you are sent in your spiffy tank kind of thing in order to stop the rebels. But you're not stopping the rebels by actually shooting them, because that's too easy. No. The way that your officer in charge has decided you should defeat these rebels is by blowing up all their weapon supplies. Because if they haven't got weapons, they can't do nasty stuff, and that is what you have to do. You have to navigate several different levels, blowing up ammunition boxes, and avoid smacking into security droids, which are running around willy-nilly and not chasing you. And once you've done that, you proceed to the next level. So, from the onset, this game could easily look like, sound like an action-ish game, but you quickly realize, it takes about 1.5 seconds, that this is actually a puzzle game and not an action game. Yeah. Technical stuff, graphics-wise, it's fine. It's very, very samey because of the nature of the game. Fields or levels or whatever you call them. And the player tank thing looks, I suppose, futuristic tank-like thing. The enemies are very bare-boned, and if it wasn't because I was told that they are security droids, I wouldn't have believed them to be security droids. The graphics are definitely not bad, but due to their nature and due to the design of the levels and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form. The sound effects are bare-bone, and they don't need to be anything special, but it's very, very hard to quantify, qualify, whatever you call it, the sound effect quality in this game, because it's something that gets tedious very, very quickly, because you hear the shooting and exploding boxes sound constantly. There's very little music, and what the music is fine. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing horrible. Controls, I'm just going to ignore controls because they work and they work as you want them to. But the gameplay, as I made some mention of, this is actually not an action game but a puzzle game. And you have to go through the different levels and blow up the rebels' ammunition. You can't shoot at boxes at a point blank range, so you need to have at least one full square between you and the ammunition boxes that you are trying to blow up, which of course translates into this becoming a puzzle game where you basically have to work out how to approach the ammunition boxes in order to blow them up. And effectively, it turns this game into being Lawnmower, but with guns. It might be for you, but it's definitely not for me. On that note, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye for now.